What would you do if I told you that your toothbrush holder had 12,000 times more germs than your toilet seat? Gross, right? Today we're gonna take a look at the top 10 germiest places in your home. Hi, I'm George Poporad with eXp Realty, and this video is about the top 10 germiest places in your home. We all like to think we keep a clean home. We vacuum, disinfect, spray and wipe down most surfaces regularly, but are we really focusing on the right places? Probably not. NSF International, which is an independent nonprofit organization, completed a study of the germiest items in your home. In their study, NSF discovered that 81% of homes tested positive for coliform bacteria, which is a family of bacteria including Salmonella and E. coli, and is also an indicator of potential fecal contamination. They also found yeast and mold present in 32% of homes. So let's take a look. You use your stove and oven knobs every day when you're cooking, but how often do you clean them? Smooth, cool surfaces don't tend to see much coliform bacteria growth. However, they do see more yeast and mold. NSF studies show that 20% of stove knobs had yeast and mold, and 14% did have coliform bacteria. Once a week, you should pull off the stove knobs and soak them in a 50-50 mixture of vinegar and water. NSF found that in homes tested, 14% of bathroom doorknobs had yeast and mold, 5% had coliform, and 5% had staph. While this number is fairly low, you can still manage the bacteria better by using disinfecting wipes once or twice a week. We put a lot of stuff on our kitchen counters. Grocery bags, raw meats, purses that might have been on the floor of a restaurant. Don't ever do that, by the way. Needless to say, with all the touches on countertops, there's bound to be a ton of bacteria. NSF found that 32% of kitchen countertops had coliform bacteria and 18% had yeast and mold. What's the best way to keep them clean? Keep unnecessary items off of the countertops and disinfect every day and before and after prepping meals. Don't forget to be mindful of your countertop material. Make sure you choose the appropriate cleaner to avoid damaging them. The aerator on your faucet, that little screen thingy, is a hot spot for bacteria growth. The actual handle also harbors a significant amount of microorganisms. NSF found that 27% had yeast and mold, 9% had coliform, and 5% had staph. To clean the aerator, remove it and soak it in vinegar once every few months, and disinfect the faucet handles every day. Have you heard people say that a dog's mouth is cleaner than yours? I'm not so sure about that because I don't think most people lick their own butts. So it's no surprise that pet toys rank really high up there for germ count. So how do we keep them clean? You can wash hard toys with soap and water, and soft toys you can try throwing in the washing machine, or you can just throw them in the trash. Think about everything that you put in your sink. Coliform bacteria grows unbelievably fast in warm, moist areas. So your kitchen sink is a perfect, disgusting breeding ground. Once or twice a week, scrub your kitchen sink with baking soda, followed by a white vinegar soak for 15 minutes. The reservoir in your coffee maker is warm, damp, and dark, which makes it the perfect place for germs to grow and thrive. In the NSF study, 50% of reservoirs contained yeast and mold, while 9% contained coliform bacteria. Every month, pour a few cups of white vinegar in the reservoir and let it soak. Wait 30 minutes and then brew the vinegar as you would your coffee. Afterwards, brew at least 2 cycles of water to rinse the vinegar out. Even germier than their toys, pet food and water bowls can harbor an extreme amount of coliform bacteria, 18%, while 45% had yeast and mold and 14% had staph. These are easy to clean. Run them through a hot dishwasher cycle, or you can also soak them in white vinegar. Can you believe that you store your toothbrush, that thing that's supposed to clean your mouth, in one of the germiest places in your house? A startling 64% of toothbrush holders contained yeast and mold, 27% were positive for coliform bacteria, and 14% had staph. One of the possible reasons for all of these germs could be the airborne bacteria after you flush the toilet, which is a good reason to make sure you close the lid before you flush. Rinsing your toothbrush holder with water alone probably won't save you here. Once a week, you should clean and soak your toothbrush holder in white vinegar, and then you can just run it through the dishwasher. So I mentioned earlier that bacteria grows unbelievably fast in warm, moist areas. What's more moist than a dishcloth or sponge? A whopping 86% of sponges and dish rags contained yeast and mold. 77% had coliform bacteria and 18% had staph. So how do you clean them? If you use a dishcloth, throw it in the laundry every couple days and grab a fresh one. If you use a sponge, you can put a wet sponge in the microwave for 90 seconds and kill off much of the bacteria, or you can just throw it away. So it is impossible to get rid of all the germs in your house, but you can definitely cut them down now that you know what you need to clean. You're one step closer to a less germy house. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, or you might just have some real estate related questions, reach out, let's have a conversation. Thanks. What's more moist? What's more more moist? Okay. What's more moist than a dishcloth or a sponge?